Hi, Analisa Six here to bring you the June 2023 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Leo, sun and rising placements in the Lady of Leisure headquarters, which is just a corner of my house. I'm doing this for the Sober Curator. Hi, everybody. I've heard that we've been getting a lot of good site traffic on the Sober Curator and that my videos have been doing better than they have in the past. So that's cool. I'm into it. Also, I feel like the Leo video got the most attention last month than it ever has. Every sign, like every month, is different. Like I'll look at the stats and I'll kind of see which signs tend to get the most views. And Aries has been popping off. Aries was like numero uno in terms of site views and likes last month, which is really interesting. But I definitely got more attention on the Leo one, which obviously, as a Leo myself, I want to, impress my fellow Leos or at least give you, a good synopsis of the month. Because, it's us. It's us. We're doing it. We're here. I got some really good feedback though on the video last month. So I just want to say thank you for that. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please feel free to comment on them, like, subscribe. I don't like negative feedback. I mean, I'll take it if it's constructive criticism or if I need like a corrections corner or something. If I say the wrong thing, I'm always down for that. But I'm really not into people just being mean. So I don't need to hear mean shit. I was bullied really bad as a kid, and I also was cyberbullied multiple times as a child and an adult. And it's just why? 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 Obviously, I'm really into Vanderpump. Well, I say obvious, like people that watch these follow me on Instagram. I am really obsessed with Vanderpump Rules. And so I could say like sharing the memes that are mean about Raquel and Tom as, contributing to some of the cyberbullying they've been getting. But I mean, you can't be on reality TV and not have a thick skin, right? I guess it's the same thing though. Posting videos into the ether of the internet, you kind of have to be ready for there to be some weird people saying stuff to you. But I am a little sensitive, so I don't like being told mean things. Anyways, what Leo likes to be told mean stuff? No, Leo. Okay, let's get into our horoscope. So we are starting out May with a few things going on. We're in Gemini season. Gemini is a really positive energy for Leo. It makes what's called a sextile to Leo, which is harmonious. So Leos tend to get along with Geminis pretty well. They're kind of a fun sign for us to hang out with and do fun things with, like travel, parties, shopping, having intellectually stimulating conversations, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance to that, but that's a very general interpretation. So, overall, having the sun in Gemini is something that Leos benefit from. Like we enjoy it. That's a little bit of boost of energy for us. Intellectually, it stimulates us. But Mercury has been in Taurus since April. It went retrograde last month. And so now, that it's June, we're finally out of the retrograde. But Mercury will be finishing its cycle the first week and a half of June in Taurus. And the area that all of that stuff was hitting in the Leo horoscope was in the area of career and work. So if you were feeling like there was a lot of tension at work and a lot of just things not going the way that they should have, or plans falling apart, structures falling apart, you can thank the Mercury retrograde for that, definitely. My husband is Leo rising, and I remember telling him before, like months before, I was like, just so you know, when May comes, everything at work is probably going to get really challenging and things are going to fall apart. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And, I mean, obviously, like those things can happen just because work is work and things happen, but it's definitely worse during these retrogrades. So, yeah, if you were having a rough time as a Leo dominant person in your career last month, it's just where it was happening. But right now, with Mercury moving forward in this area, we should be kind of sorting those things out, and it should be more constructive, not just like putting out fires. I'm still thinking about my husband though, and he's still putting out some fires. But Mercury is also making a conjunction to Uranus right now, and that's going to be more exact on the 4th and the 5th. And Uranus is difficult. Uranus, kind of blows things up. Sudden change happens, things that we're not expecting happen. So we're not totally out of the woods yet, having this Mercury Uranus conjunction. And then after the conjunction, there might be a little bit of that like ripple effect of what happened. And then we're having to, deal with the aftermath essentially. But Mercury will be leaving Taurus in June. So we're almost out of the woods. Before I get into that, we'll talk about just some of the other energy that's happening in Taurus for the rest of the year for Leo in this area. Jupiter has entered Taurus. It entered last month in May, and it's going to be in this area for the rest of the year. And so Jupiter in Taurus in the area of career brings growth and expansion. And so it's time to level up in your career. It's time to level up in the work that you're doing in the world. And so with that, obviously comes more responsibility, which can sometimes feel like too much, but also with that, there can be promotions, more success. There can be kind of a lot more attention too. It's just so crazy. I feel like, one of the things that's interesting about doing horoscopes, like I'm a Leo sun. And I'm not working right now. So when I'm doing the horoscope, it's just interesting to me because it's like, while some of this stuff is kind of happening, even with me not working, like people came into my life a lot asking me to do readings for them. And I was just like, sure, like I'm not working right now, but I may as well do it. And so it was like I was getting all this attention, even with not working, of people asking me to do stuff that I used to do. And then I'm thinking about it in relation to my husband who is working, and it's just all that stuff is so true for him. Like he's very much in the public eye right now, which is a very Jupiter 10th house thing. My husband is a musician, and his band from his past just had a record put out, and it's being written about on like Grammy.com, and he's just getting all this attention from all these different, publications online. And it's just a lot of attention that he's getting. And then his work life is also really abundant and busy and stressful though. It's like with success also comes greater responsibility and greater stress and bigger follow through. And so I'm just thinking a lot about him being Leo rising and how that's just very, very much this year for him. Like he's just having so much of that attention and success, but it's also a lot of pressure. So that's just kind of an example of how these transits influence us and kind of affect us. And it might feel more relevant for the Leo rising person because of the way the horoscopes are calculated, but it is relevant for Leo sun as well. All right, I paused the video to use the bathroom real quick. So I know that I was talking about just some of that 10th house energy that's highlighted for June. So we're going to go ahead and move on. So Venus has been in Cancer since the beginning of May, and she's going to be finishing up her stint in Cancer in June, and then she'll be entering our sign of Leo. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but that's something that we can look forward to. So let's just kind of see where she's at right now. So the area that that's been hitting for us over the last month has been the area that represents the subconscious. And so I kind of vaguely remember talking about just that there might be things that we're healing from the past, things that we're reflecting on within the subconscious that need our attention, maybe wanting to focus more on our spiritual work or spiritual life in that way. And I definitely can see how that's relevant for some of the other Leo kind of rising people in my life. I'm trying to think of how it's resonated for me. And I'm not really, I'm trying to think of the last month. I'm like, what was going on last month in May? It's just a big soup for me. We'll move on. I don't need to sit with that. We're going to talk about Venus moving into Leo soon anyways. Mars is in Leo right now. So Mars moved into Leo last month. And so the area that this is hitting for the whole month of June is the area that has to do with our identity, our self-expression. We might be feeling more of this kind of boost of energy towards our ability to exert ourselves forward within our identity. I'm such a like storyteller and anecdotal person. Like the way I relate to things is through my own personal experience. And so I like to share that. That's just how I express myself. And I think that if I think about how Mars has been here, for a little while and kind of what's going on with me is I do feel like I've been in kind of an introverted bubble for a couple of years. And I feel like some of this boost of Leo energy is making me feel a little bit more socially centered, which honestly has more to do with the Gemini energy because the sun is right now, where the sun's hitting in Gemini right now with Juno is in the area of the chart for us Leos represents social circles. So networking, groups of people, friendships, that kind of stuff. So I think that mixed with Mars and Leo is kind of giving me this boost of wanting to put myself out there more again. And I guess if I'm thinking about it, I have been working a lot on healing some stuff that has happened over the years in the past in a deep way in my relationship to that. So I think the Venus and Cancer passing through there has been a part of that story. So that's kind of an interesting thing that we're going to be experiencing, through the first part of June quite a bit. And so let's talk about what's happening on June 3rd. So June 3rd, we have a full moon happening in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius makes a trine to Leo. And so there's a fire trine, a fire grand trine that's happening with this full moon. So the moon is going to be opposite the sun, which is what makes a full moon. So we've got the sun in Gemini and then the moon in Sagittarius. So full moon, Sagittarius, it's going to be at 13 degrees of Sagittarius. And then it's going to be making a trine to Pallas Athena in Leo, as well as Mars in Leo. It's a little bit wide, but Mars is in the mix. And then it's going to be making a trine to Chiron in Aries. And so we're going to have a grand trine happening. And so trines are easy energy, easy flows of energy. And fire energy is all about our creative willpower, our sexuality, what drives us, what kind of gets us going, our passion. And so June 3rd, we might be feeling a lot of that passionate energy. And the area that it's hitting in the horoscope for Leo is networking. So friendships, groups, community, networking. And then that's where the sun is. And then the lunar energy is hitting in the house that rules Leo, which is the 5th house, but Sagittarius will be there. And that's the area where we experience a boost in creative self-expression, connection to joy, connection to our playful nature, our inner child. It's also a connection to children. So we are definitely getting a boost around self-expression and creativity and wanting to share that more with the community, wanting to be more involved in our community. We might also be reflecting a lot on how we've had a relationship to creative self-expression and how we want to express ourselves differently moving forward. So this, full moons are about manifestation and releasing and letting go. So we can, as the moon is culminating, focus on what we want to call in terms of our creative expression, but then also things that maybe have been blocking creative expression that we're ready to release and let go of. So I'm excited about this full moon for all of us, pretty much, I guess. It just feels like a positive energy to start June with. Whoa. There's a bird. So we get these birds out here called cactus wrens, and they're very mischievous and playful. And they really like to come out onto the patio and antagonize my dogs. And I find it hilarious and entertaining. I'm also a certified dog trainer. And when we are helping clients with their dogs, we tend to advise them to, not let their dogs stare out of windows. And, we'll say like block the window with something or put window film up so that your dog's not rehearsing unwanted behaviors, right? Like if you have a dog that's constantly barking at things out the window, it makes them more aroused. It can make them more stressed out, more reactive. So if you want a dog that's less reactive and not chasing stuff or, stressed out, don't let them stare at stuff, out the window. But, it's like I spent all this time advising other people because other people, when they hire a dog trainer, usually like, I don't want my dog to do this stuff anymore. But I'm the type of dog parent where I actually really enjoy having little barky, crazy dogs. Like I find it to be very adorable and cute. And I love the fact that my dogs like to chase the birds and the squirrels out of the yard because let's be honest, those things will infest your roof and dig holes and all of that. So, it doesn't bother me. And I also think their barks. I mean, they're little dogs, they're not big, and their barks are just really funny to me. They find a lot of joy out of it. They also don't really chase stuff when we're on walks. They mostly just do it in the backyard. So I think that helps. But anyways, they're being funny right now. They're being really cute. So I think that this full moon energy is going to be really positive for Leo specifically. It's really going to boost our energy and kind of give us this desire to really express ourselves the way that we want to and get rid of anything that's kind of in the way of that. After the full moon, Venus will be entering Leo on the 5th. And so Venus is going to be in Leo for a really long time. She's going to station in Leo on the 5th, and then she's going to stay in Leo until October. And I'm actually really excited about this because Venus is considered to be the lesser benefic in traditional astrology, which means that she brings good fortune and abundance wherever she's transiting. And she's also the planet that rules relationships, romance, love, how we like to be loved, how we like to be romanced. And Leo, ruling the heart, likes love. You know, Leo wants attention and love and all of that. And so when Venus enters into the first house of the Leo horoscope, she's going to be blessing the area that has to do with identity and our relationship to self. And this is a really positive time to heal any wounds around identity or negative self-talk. It's a really good time to focus on self-love rituals and, you know, kind of having more self-love or self-acceptance. She will be stationing retrograde in August, in July, at the end of July. And so I'll get more into that next month's horoscope and how that's impacting us. But, you know, retrogrades with Venus tend to bring a lot of challenges. And so there might be some challenges around self-acceptance that we're working through during that time. It might impact some of our more personal, close relationships too. But, you know, it's a time to really like work on our confidence and how we put ourselves out there. You know, I mean, it's a very internal process, but it's helping guide us kind of towards how we want to move forward. I personally am really excited for this because I was in this really positive place with myself until 2020. I was so confident and had so much self-love and so many things that I was working on in myself. And I was struggling with some depression stuff, but for the most part, I was like in a more confident place to actually actively work on that. And then 2020, so much just shit, you know, I think we all went through. This is Bruce. Bruce needs attention. This is my little Aquarius. You want to come say hi? No? He's like, no, don't pick me up. You don't want that? He wants a lot of attention right now. You can get me your ball. You want to go get me your ball? You're kind of interrupting the video right now. You're really cute though, and I love you. Can I have a kiss? Kiss? No? Okay, well, I don't know what he's doing right now. He wants attention though. It's that time of night where I usually play with him and you can get your ball. I'll throw your ball while I'm talking on video. He's like, your only job is to pay attention to me. So you're the dog mom. I know. Go get it. Go get the ball. It's right. I see it over there. Oh, he just burped. Okay, so I'm really excited about this because I feel like the last 3 years of my life, I've been in this just hole of like feeling kind of lost, I guess, ever since I moved and started over. It's just been like me kind of trying to find myself again and be in this place of who the fuck am I? You know, it was 2020 just really ravaged me. And I'm feeling like with Venus entering this area, it's kind of like an ability for us to have that self-actualization or self-discovery and also focus on building that, right? Because I don't think it's something that just happens to us. I think it's something that we actively create. Like we are the creator of our sense of self. And so I feel like Venus here with Mars here, you know, and the aspects that it's going to be making to Chiron over this cycle, in, you know, Chiron and Aries, I feel like it's a really powerful opportunity for us to work on. My dog is getting into trouble right now. Brucey, I think that's not for you. He knows he's getting into some of my physical therapy stuff, which he never touches. You know, that's how he needs my attention is he's like, I know, I'll get into something that I'm not supposed to, and then she'll pay attention to me. Brucey, go get your ball over there. Your ball's over there. I might need to pause this and go get the ball and then throw it for him. But I'm going to see if he's, for some reason, it's like, I know he knows what I'm talking about. He wants me to be the one to go get it for him. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's staring at me. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. You're embarrassing me in front of my YouTube watchers. It's so funny. Don't get a French bulldog if you like having personal space. Okay, so let's get back to this Venus story that I guess I'm going to be talking about for months. So I guess I don't need to talk about it that much. But anyways, it's positive for us. You know, I think Leos, we come off very confident, very together because we want to be perceived that way. But oftentimes we're definitely going through an internal journey that we're not sharing with people. Or maybe we are. We overshare. So a lot of people do know about our internal journey and we think that we're better at hiding it. But with that said, I think we're good at maybe sharing it, but not good at emphasizing how much pain we're in, really, in a deeper way. We're very guarded, I guess. We overshare, but we're also really guarded. So it's kind of an interesting combination. But yeah, I think that this is an opportunity for us to really work on healing some things around the identity that is going to help us move forward in the ways that maybe we've been feeling stifled over the last few years. It's been a challenging time for a lot of Leo dominant people in terms of feeling momentum again or moving forward in the ways that we want to. And I think that it's perceived a lot of times that we're always very successful or moving forward. But I think with Leo, we have a lot of grandiose, larger than life goals or ideas. And so what success means to us is typically a lot bigger than what it means to other people, you know, sometimes. And so even if we're succeeding, it feels like we're not, because our dreams or our goals are so large, you know. So I think that's something that can be kind of hard for us to be grounded, you know, in what's actually happening. Like hindsight, we'll usually look back and go, oh wow, that was really working out well. And then when we're in it, we're like, but this isn't happening and that's not happening. So I think this is an opportunity for us to build more self-awareness with Venus in Leo. Shortly after Venus enters Leo on the 11th, June 11th, Mercury is going to be entering Gemini. And I'm so excited for Mercury to enter Gemini because it's been in Taurus for way too long and it's in its home sign of Gemini. And June 11th is a pretty intense day astrologically. I talk more about it in the June 2023 forecast video. I don't get into each transit of every week in the horoscopes, but I do talk about it in the June 2023 forecast. And it's more relevant to your personal birth chart, which is why I don't talk about it in a horoscope. But with Mercury entering Gemini, it is going to be in the area that I was talking about earlier, where the sun is, that emphasizes our social circles. So groups of friends, social circles, networking. And so if you've been in a position where you want to build more of a community or more network or connect with friends more, that's definitely supported and emphasized when Mercury enters Gemini. I really wish Mercury was going to be in Gemini longer than it is. It enters Cancer on the 27th. So we have this little short stint where we get this boost of social energy. And we might feel more extroverted and more like we want to say yes to all the invites or all the things, and we have the energy for it. And then it starts to kind of die down by the end of the month, which is fine. But I think I've been so deprived socially. Like, finally, I'm going to have energy to do this, and maybe it's going to come into my ether, and then it's short-lived. But, you know, hey, that's okay. I'll take it where I can get it. Let's see, Saturn's going to station retrograde on the 17th at 7 degrees of Pisces. Again, I go over more of that in the forecast. Saturn's going to be in Pisces for a long time, so we don't need to get into that too much in the horoscope. And then after that, we have a new moon happening in Gemini at 26 degrees of Gemini on June 18th. And so again, this area where Gemini is the area that represents community, social circles, groups, and new moons are a great time to set intentions. So if you have been wanting to set intentions towards manifesting more friends or different types of friends or different types of groups or community things you want to be involved in, the 18th is a great time to set those intentions. Tell the universe what kind of people you want in your life. I've definitely been in that place where I would love to have more of a sober community in the physical. Like, I've got a great online sober community, but I would love to be more active socially, where I'm doing things like going on hikes or getting coffee, you know, that kind of stuff in a sober capacity. And, you know, I don't have a lot of energy because of my health issues, but I would like to have maybe more like monthly things that I'm doing in the community that bring me joy and make me feel a part of the community that I've moved to. And I've been feeling really removed from that. And it's been hard for me to build that with, you know, having kind of more of this introverted life. So I am definitely setting intentions towards, you know, wanting to have more of that as my time out here progresses. This is my 4th year living out here, and I live in Yucca Valley, California. And it's been such a weird time, like with the pandemic and post-pandemic, that I feel like I got kind of robbed of the first couple years that I lived here socially, you know, to like do the things that I might have done to establish more of that community or roots here. Like, I just feel like I was so just not wanting to be social because of the pandemic, obviously. And so I really feel like I'm kind of just starting out living here more recently, even though I've been here going on 4 years now. It's really weird. So that's that. And then, okay, so after that new moon, we're going to have the sun move into Cancer on the 21st, which is the summer solstice. So summer is officially starting. Cancer is located in the area that rules the subconscious of the Leo horoscope. So this is where we might start to feel more like we were super social and extroverted in June, and now the 21st is here and we're done. We're like, time to retreat, time to go into our little restorative bubble and maybe block everybody out. And then shortly after that, on the 27th, Mercury is going to join that Cancer party, and we're going to go into this kind of like subconscious realm, you know, where we're really wanting to work on this deeper spiritual work and our relationship to self. So with that Leo energy still highlighted. So really take advantage of this extroverted time, you know, to move forward in the ways that you need to move forward, and then just plan on kind of hunkering down and hunkering in. Neptune's also going to be stationing retrograde in Pisces on the 30th. And so again, we're going to kind of have a little bit of this reflect, review, retreat energy happening towards the end of the month, after really feeling like we want to party in the beginning of June. So yeah, that's going to be the Leo horoscope for you. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like, subscribe if you want to get notified on when these videos get published every month. And I will see you next month, Leo. Good luck.